Cars. They get us from point A to point B. They can kill us. They can get us laid. They're a rite of passage, a symbol of freedom, a definitive moment of breaking free from the shackles of childhood and entering the exciting world of the adult. And as titillating as growing up can be, it's also fraught with danger, a theme Stephen King explores time and again in coming-of-age stories like The Body and It. So it's no wonder that cars, ever the staple of transitioning into adulthood, also feature prominently in Stephen King's work. And they too can be pretty scary, especially when they kill you. Here, Constant Watchers, is the Stephen Kingdom's top 5 killer cars. Number 5. Ford Pinto, CUJO. When Stephen King sold his first book, Carrie, he got an advance that would allow him to quit teaching and pursue writing full-time. It wasn't much, $2,500, so he still had to be frugal when it came to buying a getting-round vehicle, which meant no jet ski, no Humvee, no Beamer. So he went for the quintessential icon of cheap cars, the Ford Pinto. Less than 10 years later, he needed the perfect car for a novel about a mother and her son stranded at a rural mechanic's shop. For the narrative to work, the car would need to be an utter piece of crap that keeps breaking down, something the reader would have no faith in being able to start back up and carry the mother and son to safety. A car that would be the worst place to be stuck in on a sweltering summer day while being terrorized by a rabid Saint Bernard. That car? The Ford Pinto. That novel? CUJO. Number 4. 1953 Buick Roadmaster from a Buick 8. There's a killer car later on in this list that looms large in the Stephen King canon. A car so iconic, it's the gold standard of killer cars by which all other killer cars are measured. The 1953 Buick Roadmaster from a Buick 8 is, it's not that car. But when the novel was published in 2002, many avid readers expected Stephen King to give them yet another iconic killer car. What they got instead with From a Buick 8, though, was something entirely different. The killer car from a Buick 8 just kind of sits there. The novel is less about a killer car and more a series of memories and stories and recollections of the members of Troop D, a Pennsylvania state police barracks in western Pennsylvania. Written in the form of an oral history where the POV shifts from character to character, the novel is actually a sort of reflection on mortality and the slow march of time towards death. It all starts when a mysterious abandoned Buick Roadmaster is towed into the station and stored in a shed. Over the years, the troopers witness all sorts of strangeness with the creepy car. It seems to be a sort of portal into another world or dimension, shooting out silent purple light and opening its trunk to unleash unearthly alien creatures. While all this weirdness doesn't directly kill anybody, several folks do start going missing. And this being Stephen King, I'm gonna assume that those missing unfortunates don't end up getting teleported to Tahiti, which at a minimum makes the 1953 Buick Roadmaster an accessory to murder. And hey, that's plenty to land it on this list of killer cars. Number 3, Mercedes S-Class, Mr. Mercedes. Mr. Mercedes marked a turning point in Stephen King's career in which he started focusing a lot more on crime novels and hard-boiled fiction. Published in 2014, it was the first novel of the Bill Hodges trilogy, followed by Finders Keepers and End of Watch. In Mr. Mercedes, recently retired Bill Hodges is hot on the heels of psychopath Brady Hartsfield, who plows into a crowd of people at a job fair with a stolen Mercedes, killing 8 and severely injuring many more. While the titular Mercedes isn't supernatural like some of the other entries on this list, there's no doubt to its pedigree as one of Stephen King's most killeringest of killer cars. Number 2, 1958 Plymouth Fury, Christine. Your first thought might be, it's about damn time Christine shows up on this list. Your second thought might then be, wait. What the hell is Christine doing at number 2? To which I say,
patience, Iago, patience.
Christine follows awkward high school senior Arnie Cunningham during the sweltering summer of 1978, when he stumbles upon a rusty, decaying 1958 Plymouth Fury named, checks notes, Christine. Despite his best friend Dennis's vehement objections, Arnie becomes obsessed with restoring the dilapidated car to its former glory. As Arnie works tirelessly on Christine, the once humble teenager becomes more confident, standing up for himself against bullies and scoring a date with the hottest girl in school, Lee.
Yeah, baby!
Arnie's on top of the world, but this confidence soon mutates into arrogance, and strange accidents and deaths start to plague those who cross Arnie's path. Christine's sinister influence over Arnie grows stronger, warping his mind and driving him to violent extremes. Dennis and Arnie's girlfriend, the aforementioned Lee, begin to uncover Christine's dark history and make it their mission to sever the car's supernatural hold over Arnie before it consumes him forever. Sounds like the creme de la creme of killer cars, right? But there's one killer car that just barely tops it. Because the only thing scarier than a killer car from the mind of Stephen King is a real killer car that almost really killed Stephen King.
Oh my God, Stephen King!
Hey, this would make a neat story. Done.
Number 1, 1985 Dodge Caravan. After decades of writing about killer cars, there's a sick irony to Stephen King nearly being killed by a real one. It happened on June 19th, 1999, when Stephen was out on one of his normal walks near his home in Maine.
I set out on that walk around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, as well as I can remember. Just before reaching the main road, in western Maine, any road with a white line running down the middle of it is a main road. I stepped into the woods and urinated. It was 2 months before I was able to take another leak standing up.
Stephen was walking along the shoulder of Route 5 and just happened to be on a short, steep hill where he was unable to see what might be coming his way. What was coming his way was a blue 1985 Dodge Caravan.
Brian Smith, the owner and operator of the Dodge van, came over the crest. He wasn't on the road, he was on the shoulder. My shoulder. I had perhaps 3/4 of a second to register this. It was just enough time to think, my God, I'm going to be hit by a school bus. I started to turn to my left. There's a break in my memory here. On the other side of it, I'm on the ground, looking at the back of the van, which is now pulled off the road and tilted to one side. This recollection is very clear and sharp, more like a snapshot than a memory. There is dust around the van's taillights. The license plate and the back windows are dirty. I register these things with no thought that I've been in an accident or of anything else. It's a snapshot, that's all. I'm not thinking. My head has been swapped clean. There's another little break in my memory here, and then I am very carefully wiping palmfuls of blood out of my eyes with my left hand. When my eyes are reasonably clear, I look around and see a man sitting on a nearby rock. He has a cane drawn across his lap. This is Brian Smith, 42 years of age, the man who hit me with his van.
Stephen's recovery was long and agonizing, a period so painful he almost gave up writing altogether. But thanks to the love and support of his wife Tabitha, which we explored in our Stephen and Tabitha episode, Stephen was able to pull through, recuperate, and to the delight of his millions of constant readers, write again. And while we may not have to contend with demon-haunted or alien-infested cars in real life, our own world has plenty of killer cars roaming the streets, far scarier than anything our dark imaginations can ever dream up. You don't believe me? Have you seen the Cybertruck?
It looks like something Homer Simpson would have made for a truck that he wanted, right?
If you like what we're doing over here at the Stephen Kingdom and would like to show us a little monetary love, our Patreon has all sorts of exclusive goodies for our supporters, including extended and deleted scenes, behind-the-scenes featurettes, early access to episodes, and your name in the end credits. Be sure to subscribe to the Stephen Kingdom channel here, and check out our past top 5 episodes Here. Long days and pleasant nights, constant watchers.